This is the look that I'm deciding to go for today. And these earrings need to be thrown away because they're turning black when they were copper at first. What is up with that? What's up with that? For those of you who know, I'm a huge WWE fan. I've been ever since I was 8 years old. Thank you, Auntie Lisa and Uncle Lawrence, for introducing me to wrestling. But lately I have not been watching it because it's weird. As a fan of wrestling, I don't want to watch wrestling without an audience because I like the energy that it gives the wrestlers and they perform better. Now, I'm not saying that the wrestlers are performing bad without the audience. It's the energy that you decide to bring out there as a performer, you know, as an athlete, as a entertainer, singer, whatever. But let's keep it wrestling. But as a wrestling fan, it's just so weird. Now, when I watched both parts of WrestleMania, it was so weird. And I understand why they're not doing the audience right now and they're at the Performance Center is because of the COVID. I get it. Oh my gosh. So I don't want y'all saying, well, it's the COVID, that's why. But it's just so weird because when you get ready to go out there, and I'm sure that you hear the crowd, that pumps you up, and you get pumped up, and you start performing so much better. But like I said, it's all in what you decide to bring out there, whether you have an audience or not, whether you get booed or cheered. Now everybody's all, when is Roman Reigns coming back? Oh my gosh, and this and that. And I'm like, when he gets there, then he'll be there. I keep reading comments on Twitter, and I keep reading comments on mostly on Instagram, saying, oh, please come back, King. Please come back, Champion. Please come back, Oos. I would like to see him back, but, you know, there's certain reasons why he couldn't be there. And I, you know, as a fan, I kind of respect that. But I do love his work. I really do. And I like the WWE Network, and I hope they keep it for a while. Because when you watch certain documentaries of these wrestlers, such as 24, and the Chronicles and Bump and whatever they may have, giving you a little sneak peek in the background of people's life, of how they became a WWE superstar. Most of them always start off as fans of WWE superstars from back in the day, like Hacksaw Jim Duggan with his fine behind. I guess I said that. And like Mr. Perfect, which I love. He was my favorite wrestler back in the day. And of all these people, and they take pictures of these people as fans, but then later on they turn out to be WWE superstars. I like that, and I like their stories coming up. So I really do like to watch WWE Network and then watch 24. Ooh. You know? And it makes me appreciate them as wrestlers, that to know that I know a little bit about your backstory. And I see where you came from. Like, I was watching R-Truths. Very good. I saw Booker T's. Very good. And they had this 3-part documentary series of The Undertaker called The Last Ride. And it made me respect that mother effer so much more than I've ever did. And my sister was watching with me and she cried. Because it's like, we grew up watching him. We saw the kids' reaction when he came out. And he was so serious, and the kids was looking like he didn't get booed or cheered. Everybody was scared. Okay, because I've never seen a character like that before. And he was able to go into other different Undertaker characters, like the Ministry of Darkness, the American Bad-A, all that other stuff. And but at the same time, he went back to the Undertaker because that's what the people remembered, and it was still just as good as when he started as the Undertaker. You know, I don't think all the gimmicks or characters the Undertaker had was ever boring, was ever bad. There's some that just don't work for other wrestlers. Like, I don't really care for the B team. I like it better when he was Axelmania and doing, Curtis Axel was doing his stuff by himself. And I liked it better when he was the inspirational Bo Dallas. I like that better because at least I feel like they was being used more. And I'm just waiting to see one on The Miz. I want to see one on The Miz. I want to see the one of Jinder Mahal. And if for those out there who don't know what I'm talking about WWE Network, and the show's called 24 or Chronicles. I want to see one. But usually it's like, say like Jinder Mahal would make a return. Then that's when he'll probably get one. But I would just like to see all the wrestlers. Just do all the wrestlers and just tape everybody so we can see You know, Dave Bautista's was good. I didn't watch Kofi Kingston's. I want to watch that one. It's either the Chronicles or 24. Now, I saw Bill Goldberg's 24 and his Chronicles, and it both was good. I have a little crush on Bill Goldberg as it is anyway, so boom. That's probably why I felt like he was so good. I don't know what I did, but I tried to do this tendril catfish thing, and it's just really giving me all types of grudge right now. I look like Kayako from The Grudge with this wig like this, so I have to kind of go like that. Pull it back a little bit. And what I might end up doing is taking... Oh, these going to give me a headache. Oh, man. If I put this around my head to kind of give it like that look a little bit, you know, like almost like that. Kind of like something to scoot it back. It's going to give me this feeling that I don't want to feel right now. I have to stretch it out some kind of way. I don't know what to do with it. I should just leave it like this and maybe just kind of put that tendril behind the ear and then put this tendril wherever it may lay. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing with this wig, but I'm trying, y'all. I feel like taking off this wig and just wear my hair like regular anyway. But I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it on since I already put in the effort of putting it on. So I'm just going to leave it on. But yeah, I'm a big, huge wrestling fan. What I would like to see is them use more people, you know. And I understand some people have to get let go because of the COVID, or they just plain wasn't being used, or whatever the case was. But like, you know, as a wrestling fan, I feel like, of course, over the years, new creators, new writers, and new managers or whatever, and new bosses stepped in or whatever. It's just not the same. And I'm not expecting it to be the same, being a wrestling fan ever since I was 8, but it's just that growing up, it's so scripted, you can tell. Back then, it was scripted too, but you couldn't tell. You know, two wrestlers like the Macho Man and Hulk Hogan wouldn't fight into the event. You got wrestlers nowadays fighting, and then at the event they fight again. It's like you already give it away for free. So what's the point of y'all fighting at the event if y'all fighting now? Then you get last minute title changes instead of waiting. Like, I would like to have seen somebody take away this person's title at the event, not on SmackDown and Raw. It just takes away from the goodness of that anticipation. You know, there's no build up, there's no climax when you already had them fight on SmackDown and Raw so many times. It's like you're giving it away. It's nothing to look forward to. As a fan of wrestling, I wish it can go back to those days of where, like I said, the Macho Man Randy Savage and Jake the Snake didn't fight until In Your House. Stuff like that. And not those two people in particular, but just you wouldn't see these two opponents fight until the actual event, and it gave you something to look forward to. So when you saw Raw that following night, it's like, oh, that was so good, let's see the recap and all that. But nowadays it's so, let's just have them brawl now and then have them brawl at the event. There's nothing to look forward to, and it's pointless. So my favorite event is Survivor Series is pretty good, and I like WrestleMania. So I like Royal Rumble was pretty good. The Royal Rumble, Survivor Series last year in 2009 was very good. Yay to NXT, y'all beat Raw and SmackDown. But the Royal Rumble this year when Edge came back and Naomi came back, those were the best pay-per-views I've seen in a long time. Because I appreciated it. And I sat and watched it. Even little sucky parts to where I was like, okay, let's just go to the bathroom on this part. Let's go get our drinks on this part. Let's go ahead and just have a bathroom break or whatever on this part. I felt like the Royal Rumble and the Survivor Series 2019 and Royal Rumble of 2020 this year were the best ever. And I'm glad they've included NXT a part of the Royal Rumble too, because, the Survivor Series too, because there's some good talent there too. I'm sorry, Rhea Ripley. Who the hell is that? Where have she been? That's a beast right there. That's a beast right there. I'm into good wrestling, but just don't give it away. I just wish they wouldn't give it away. Let there be something to look forward to when you actually pay for the event or watch it on the WWE Network. But don't give away the best matches ever on Raw and SmackDown. You know? And I think with the whole Edge versus Randy Orton thing, it would have been so much more to look forward to had they waited to fight at the event instead of fighting on Raw or SmackDown, wherever they, it's just like, come on. You're giving it away. You're just giving it away. I know I keep repeating myself, but I feel like, what's the point of having the pay-per-view event when you're giving it away on SmackDown and Raw? It's just like, there's nothing to look forward to. I don't even think WCW did that. You knew if Sting and Hogan was going to fight, they was going to fight at that event. Let the contract signings be the heated thing. Kind of like leave them wanting more in suspense, though. And just end it Raw and SmackDown like that. And then they fight at the event. Like the contract signing that Bill Goldberg and Roman Reigns did. I loved it. Because they didn't touch each other. Okay? And the part when it was Brock Lesnar and Bill Goldberg in the ring, right? And as soon as they were about to get in each other's face, it turned dark. The Undertaker's gong happened. And the next thing you know, the lights came back on. Lights came off, lights came back on, Undertaker was right there, and the crowd went crazy with the K. And that suspense, they didn't touch each other, they just looked at each other, it just went off air. That's what I'm talking about. Don't have these people fight on Raw and SmackDown. But I'm just a fan. I'm a part of the WWE universe because I do support them and buying merch and everything too. So I feel like I do have a bit of a say-so, but it's not like they're gonna take O'Shea's advice and be like, let's just do it. I'm sure there's plenty of WWE fans that feels the same way I do, and some of them just enjoy things how it is. But growing up, I guess you can call me a Federation kid because I've been watching it ever since it was WWF. I haven't been watching it when it was, AWA or NWA or something like that. I haven't watched it then, but I've been watching it ever since I was 8 years old. And I remember Giant Gonzalez versus The Undertaker. I remember when Jake the Snake and he brought the Snake in, and Andre the Giant, he looked like he had a heart attack or something. And then when the Snake actually bit, what was that, Macho Man or something? I remember watching all that. I remember when Chuck Norris kicked the funk out of Jeff Jarrett because he had to stand right there so nobody would interfere in that match. I don't know what event this was, but I remember that. He kicked the funk out of Jeff Jarrett, and the crowd went crazy. And it wasn't so scripted. It wasn't obviously a script back then, and that's what made it more enjoyable. But now I understand they have to do certain things because the next generation may be different from mine, and the next generation may be different, after year, as people get older, they start watching wrestling, and now you're going to incorporate MMA fighters into wrestling, and people from wrestling going to MMA or UFC, and it's just like, okay, either that or most of them are turning into actors and actresses. Other than that, I'm glad they're showing that you get to see the Hall of Fame ceremonies, and I feel like when Hillbilly Jim was in, I was like, it's about freaking time. When were they gonna put him in it anyway? And it was such a breath of fresh air to see new talent. Like I'm happy to see, because I'm sorry, no offense, as much as I love the Shield, I was tired of seeing Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins as champions. When I saw people like Jinder Mahal be a champion, I was very happy about it. People like The Miz, people like Bray Wyatt, I was very happy to see that because it's a breath of fresh air. And I understand that certain people may be the face of the company, but there's way more talent out there than just somebody's face. You know what I mean? And I understand that, you got to use these people to do press conferences to get ready to promote the next event and all that, and we want this person to go and this person to talk about it at this press conference premiere promotion type thing. That's fine, but while they're doing that, somebody else could be like, I would love to have seen people like Nia Jax be like hold the title for like almost over a year. But you get people like Nikki Bella and people like Bailey and Sasha Banks. I'm sorry when I'm saying their names. It's just that certain people, as a viewer and as a fan, I'm tired of seeing. I'm really tired of seeing. You know, I don't know. I'm just venting as a WWE, I'm about to say superstar, as a WWE fan and a part of the WWE universe. I would really like to see somebody else, you know. And don't just have wrestlers from back then come back from one little event and then they're gone again. Stay there and be somebody's mentor, you know, and just like be seen, you know, supporting them by the ring or something. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm glad they do have a women's tag team now. I'm happy about that. Very happy about that. Those iconic girls, there were some good tag team champions. It was really good, and them things came from NXT. Okay, and I can see why a lot of people, like my coworker, he watches NXT, and he tells me it's better than Raw and SmackDown. So I'm thinking, maybe I need to start watching it, because Finn Balor went back there. I think Kevin Owens should go back, because he was a pretty good champion. He was a pretty good NXT champion. Now they got that guy. I'm going to spell his name because I don't want to get it wrong. Ciampa. Him. The bald-headed guy with the beard. Keith Lee. Oh my gosh. You had Matt Riddle. These people were some really good-ass people. Then I just get afraid that this good talent goes to Raw and SmackDown and become jobbers, and they don't get used properly. Now, I thought Jinder Mahal just came back. What happened? What happened, Stevie? What's the problem? What's the problem, Stevie? So he gone again? Did he get re-injured and have to leave again? Or they just didn't find any place for him, so they decided to write in that he got injured. Or should I put right in that he got injured because they didn't have a place for him? And that's what sucks. And that's why I think AEW is going to be what it is. And more. Because there's actually some good talent on there. And the people that went on there from WWE is actually getting used. Said it. I'm sorry. I said it. So don't you forget it. I said it. There, it's out. I can't take it back. It's out. I think it's going to be bigger than WWE. Oh, said it. Oh my gosh. Said it again. Said it again. When y'all get a chance, go subscribe to JD from New York. Because he pretty much says everything that I'm thinking about. And I've heard a couple people say that WWE 2K game with Roman Reigns and Becky Lynch on the front was very glitchy. And some people were not happy about it. And some people were. Some people probably didn't have that problem. But a lot of people said that the game was glitchy. And it was acting a fool. I guess it wasn't starting right, or whatever they was trying to do, it wasn't right or something. Maybe they didn't enjoy the quality of it or something. But several people, when I say several, I mean just a few. Let me not exaggerate, okay? Just a few people complained about that game being very glitchy. And like I said, that was them. Maybe if my nephew was to get it, his won't be glitchy. I don't know. But everybody wasn't complaining about it. But there were some people who felt that the game was very, maybe it was the quality. Because any other time they did a WWE 2K, it's been fine. But that is the only time I've ever heard of that game being very, you know. I don't know. I think the cover was awesome. You know. I would like to see Bray Wyatt, and I would like to see people like Kofi Kingston on the cover. You know, unless I missed it. You know. Even people who I feel should be in the Hall of Fame, but it's not. But I'm not going to really mention that, because that's going to be a whole nother video or whatever. And I would like to talk about stuff like this with my sister, because you really get into it, and we're all wrestling fans, especially me and my sister and my nephew. We're all wrestling fans. I don't know if my sister from the Malwan show is really into it, but we can sit there and talk about WWE from the Federation days and just get a bang out of life. Make that into a mukbang conversation. So probably, I'm just going to say stay tuned for that, because it's probably going to be one. I want to get into some real wrestling talk. Okay? Don't just think that these summer dresses and these wigs and this copper shimmery eyeshadow is just for like whatever. No, I can get into some wrestling talk. That wrestling, yeah. And I've had people, I've been a fan of wrestling ever since Like I was 8, growing up in high school, finding this friend who liked wrestling just as much as I did, WCW and WWF just as much as I did. And people would say, "Oh, y'all watch that? That's fake. Your mama's fake. How about that? All right? Now go mind your business. Ain't nobody was talking to you, okay? Now go start some mess with somebody. You black ghetto girl." Anyway, we just did mind our own business talking about wrestling. I've been a wrestling fan for such a long time. I know I've said that all the way down to the ground in this video, but just know that I'm a huge wrestling fan. So, yeah. Alright, you guys, let me get out of here. I've been talking long enough. I'm hungry, and I gotta go get me something. Alright, bye.